The Department of Defense's Joint Warfighting Cloud Capability contract was awarded in December 2022 and represents a major milestone in the DoD's cloud journey. In this interview, we spoke with Glenn Dodson, Senior Vice President of Oracle's National Security Group, as part of our series on JWCC winners. Glenn talked about what Oracle brings to the table for JWCC, which trends are shaping the future of cloud, and more. If you enjoyed this interview, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you're interested in being interviewed, please email summer@executivemosaic.com. Hello, and welcome to Executive Mosaic's video interview series. I'm Summer Myatt, and here to speak with me today is Glenn Dodson, Senior Vice President of Oracle's National Security Group. Glenn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Summer, I'm glad to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
So Glenn, Oracle is one of the awardees on the Department of Defense's Joint Warfighting Cloud Capability contract, which represents a major step forward in the DoD's cloud journey. Can you explain the significance of the JWCC contract and what it means to Oracle to win a spot on it?
Sure. Summer, let me just take a step back for a second and let's look at what JWCC actually is, at least from our perspective. JWCC is one of the largest information technology contracts that the Department of Defense has led. It's going to be game-changing. And through JWCC, they're also engaging four of the largest hyperscale cloud providers on the planet. And that in itself will be transformational for the department and for the warfighter. We also believe that JWCC is going to basically set the tone, agenda, and pace for how technology is both deployed and also innovated within the department and through the defense industrial base. So it's going to be quite transformational. What we're so excited about at Oracle is we've had an enormous amount of success with our second generation cloud in the commercial sector. And we've been enabling some of the most demanding workloads on the planet. And we now have over 40 regions supporting both the government sector and commercial sector globally, all throughout the world, in the United States, in Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, essentially everywhere, South America as well. And we're really looking at bringing that commercial innovation to the department through the JWCC contract. And what's really exciting is bringing extreme mission capability to the department. I mean, we have customers today that have very sophisticated and large data sets where they're using complex AI and ML algorithms to basically analyze this data at machine speed. And we're talking about significant data. We have customers that have data that's ranging on the size of 3.5 terabytes of data that's traversing into our clouds every 2 to 3 seconds. And you think about it, that's basically analyzing and processing that work inside of the Library of Congress every couple of seconds. It's a massive amount of data. Bringing that capability to the department is going to be awesome. And so we're excited about that. We're also excited because cloud is going to be foundational to the department's new digital modernization strategy. And it doesn't just mean the warfighter or the mission enterprise, but also the business enterprise as well. So we're excited about bringing these capabilities and innovations across the entire security fabric, whether it's IL2 or IL4 or IL5 or secret or top secret SCI or beyond. So we're quite excited, proud, and honored to be one of the awardees at JWCC. And I might add one more thing, Summer. We actually think that, being an awardee on JWCC is not about being relevant to the department and the mission and their future. It's about being critical to their mission.
I'm curious, what will Oracle bring to the table for JWCC, and what differentiates Oracle on this contract?
There's a lot of differentiators, I think, that Oracle brings. First, Oracle Cloud is built for mission, right? We're a second generation cloud architecture. We bring a lot more stringent security, greater performance at a low predictable price. And so the way we've done that is to basically design in differentiators. But you also have to think about Oracle's history here, right? We're a technology company. We're a technology company for the last 45 years, focused on innovation in the areas of hardware, software, networking, and open source. And you think about that, these are really the prerequisite core competencies that you need to build a highly secure and performant cloud. So let's think about the differentiators for a minute, and I'll try to zero in on a couple because there's many. I'm gonna talk mainly about data, if you will, because data is everywhere. Data is important to the commercial sector, the government sector, and for sure the Department of Defense. And you think about the JADC2 framework, the Joint All-Domain Command and Control framework that's in place. One of the primary tenets or lines of effort in JADC2 is all about data. So Oracle Cloud is architected differently with our second generation approach. And we've actually architected performance to be able to take advantage of modern artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms so we can basically scale and analyze data at these volumes. And so what we've done is we've basically implemented differentiators at every tier of the architecture. So it doesn't matter if you're talking about, bare metal or GPUs or HPC or storage or low latency, high bandwidth network. We have differentiators at every level that enable us to provide extreme performance. And you take a look at things like benchmarks that people look at today, whether you're looking at SLAB-LUD benchmarks or you're looking at breadth first search type benchmarks or looking at large graphs, you'll see that Oracle is able to provide with these differentiators not just good benchmark results compared to cloud service providers that are available today, but even exceeding the performance of supercomputers. So we're really excited about bringing this kind of performance and differentiators to the department through our cloud offerings. At the data tier, staying there for a moment, we've done some very unique things, right? We have a converged multimodal data platform that essentially lets you handle any type of data that you may have in the department or any type of mission set, whether you're looking at relational data or RDF data, or you're looking at JSON or XML, geospatial vector data, imagery data, full motion video. It doesn't matter. We have a great multimodal platform that enables you to basically analyze this data, slice and dice it to support your mission at very high speed and great performance and security. The other thing that we've done in terms of data that's really game-changing is we brought machine learning algorithms that normally reside outside of a data platform. We've brought them into this converged multimodal platform. So you now can actually run machine learning algorithms that coexist with the data itself, not having to move it to another part of the architecture or platform. And that's really going to be game-changing as well in terms of security and performance and scale. So those are a few of the things that we're doing in terms of differentiators that I think are going to be great things to offer both the warfighter and the department as a whole.
So Glenn, tell me more about Oracle's perspective on the intersection of cloud and zero trust. Can you talk a little bit about where you are with zero trust and the department?
Sure. Let's take a look at what zero trust is in its kind of simplest form, or zero trust security. It's really all about taking the position that your network is already compromised and can't be trusted. And the concept of zero trust security has really grown over the last few years, and for a number of reasons, but two big reasons is just the growth of public cloud itself, and also the threat of not just external actors, but also internal actors on the network. And so the Department of Defense, they've taken a strong posture here as well. In fact, they set up their own Zero Trust Security Program Management Office about a year ago. And they just recently have published their first Zero Trust Security Strategy that has got everyone's attention right now, of course, especially the cloud service providers supporting JWCC. And we're no exception to that. We've already submitted, Oracle's already basically submitted our target and advanced controls to both the National Security Agency and the DoD CIO's office for evaluation, and we're now moving into the test phase for our zero trust security operations and posture. You probably know, Oracle really has a long history of protecting the Department of Defense's most sensitive data, right? We've been engaged with the department, I mentioned earlier, for over 40 years. And we have always taken a security first design principle in anything that we build or design or innovate, whether it's hardware or software or networking. always has been a security first design principle. And that principle obviously extends into our cloud and second generation cloud offerings that we're bringing to market for the department inside of JWCC. We've also have a unique cybersecurity architecture that brings new levels of tenant isolation, which reduces attack vectors. And so there are many things that go into that, but I will mention, like, for example, one unique component of that architecture is a custom designed smart network interface card that basically virtualizes and isolates the network. And this enables us to give, but it's done by customer tenancy. So what this actually does is if you actually have a compromised tenancy, this will enable us to basically isolate it from the rest of the network and also isolate it from other tenancies. It's a very unique approach in our cybersecurity architecture, and it's going to be extremely important for preventing traversal network attacks. So at a high level, from a zero trust security perspective, we really kind of look at security, from a kind of a three-legged model, if you will, at the simplest form. And that is, we have a security first design principles. We have automated security, and then we have constant on security as well. And these are the things that really enable us the ability to bring in isolated network virtualization, granular access controls. It also lets us do automated threat mitigation and remediation. Also lets us offer things like default enabled ubiquitous encryption, user behavior monitoring. There's a lot of things that we have that are pretty comprehensive to our approach on security and the zero trust security that goes into our clouds for the department.
So Glenn, we've been talking a lot about cloud today. What are some of the most significant trends you're seeing in the GovCon market relative to cloud today?
So if we take a look at the trends, especially in the cloud space and JWCC for the next 36 to 48 months, we can kind of take a look at them through two different lenses. One would be the bleeding edge lens, right, where there's going to be developments in quantum encryption, blockchain, quantum computing. But if we want to take more of a kind of maybe a more relevant view right now, given where we are in the life cycle of JWCC, just taking a look at market leading types of trends, I would really kind of think of four big ones. I think that is multi-cloud, Oconus operations with cloud, cloud at the edge. And then I think we're going to continue to see a major evolution and innovation around artificial intelligence and machine learning, going back to what I said earlier about data. This is probably one of the most disruptive technology areas of our time is AI, ML. I think the other thing that's really kind of worth mentioning in terms of trends is something that the department and the CIO's office is driving very aggressively and for good reason. And that is more government industry partnerships in the information technology space than we've ever seen before. And I think this is largely because with cloud, we now become part of that defense industrial base essentially. And those partnerships are very important. And you can see John Sherman is building those partnerships widely and quickly. And I think this will pay great dividends. That's a big trend as well. I think the other thing that we're seeing is the government's also fostering tighter industry collaboration, right? That's to my point about multi-cloud. And when we speak about multi-cloud, I don't mean just enabling multi-cloud. I'm talking about embracing multi-cloud. It's not just about interconnecting and integrating clouds together. They need to be providing seamless mission capability to the department, seamless integrated capability to the department. And that's not just interconnecting. We've been working on this with Microsoft now for some time. We're beginning to work with Amazon in this area. And I think multi-cloud is going to continue to be a big thing that we need to work on together, both government and commercial sector. And it's coming together right now. Oconus, is the other thing relative to JWCC. we have watched four of the largest hyperscale cloud service providers build out a tremendous amount of infrastructure in the United States of America to support the mission, which is vital and is the first step that we needed to do. I think as you take a look at, basically the geopolitical situation around the world right now, it's going to be absolutely essential that the next chapter of JWCC takes us to OCONUS. You've got the aggression right now of Russia into Ukraine. There's very serious concerns that there's going to be, a broadening aggression potentially that could happen in Europe. We need to move our clouds into theater, get them closer to the operations. By some intelligence estimates and defense analysis, people are also thinking that we're just going to see more outright confrontational conflict in the world. It's sad to say, but unfortunately, I think it's here. You look at the Pacific Rim, we have the same challenge that's potentially evolving there with China's interest in Taiwan. So we don't know what the next 2 or 3 years might bring there. So I think OCONUS is another big one. And then button right up next to that, of course, is Cloud at the Edge. And Cloud at the Edge, to deliver capabilities, into denied areas and austere environments is going to be absolutely hypercritical as we look at the next few years. And Oracle has actually invested a lot of time and money in this particular area. We have a great portfolio of edge devices and capability, not just to move data out to the edge and bring data back, but actually to do real-life computational AI and ML work at the edge, which is absolutely what's important, especially when you have disconnected comms. So we have a portfolio of edge devices that basically span from the smallest being the Oracle Ultra Edge, which is about the size of a cigar box, to our roving edge device, which is a 19-inch rack mountable that can be configured and clustered with 3 or 4 others into a flyaway package, all the way up into large containers that can be dropped into theater with their own basically containerized shelter with power and environmental protection. So we have that, and we also have incorporated a consistent user interface. So if you're operating in our large hyperscale data centers using OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, the interface that you see on your screen while you're using that will look exactly as what you'll see out in the field, whether you're in a Humvee on an airborne platform or shipborne. It's all going to look exactly the same. But my point is, edge is going to be absolutely critical as we continue to look at the next 3 to 4 years. Then finally, I mentioned AI ML, right? Just cannot say enough about artificial intelligence and machine learning. I've talked a lot today about the warfighter and the department, kind of really focusing on the mission enterprise. Artificial intelligence is going to be used not just for mission enterprise, but for business enterprise as well. So whether you're looking at doing high value targeting or data analysis, or you're looking at predictive maintenance on an aircraft, AI ML is going to play a critical role. So we'll for sure see that continue to evolve and be front and center over the next few years.
Well, Glenn, thank you so much for your time today and for all the work you do at Oracle.
I appreciate the time that you gave us today too, Summer. Thank you.